So that's all right. Like Oysters, this is the penultimate match in phase one of the league this season for Oysters, who can't mathematically make the playoffs. While for fourth placed Eemland, they're seeking to consolidate their position in the playoff places with victory here and now. But they do know as well that any slip-ups could see Rotterdam's RC catch them in the closing matches. In practice, they need 2 good wins, not only to secure their playoff place, but to find some momentum as well before the next stage of the competition. Oisterwijk cannot mathematically make the playoffs, but they could still potentially decide who makes the playoffs and can absolutely end this campaign on their own terms. The Oysters are a side that have shown throughout the year that they're more than capable of disrupting the established order. They play with a great deal of ambition. They have a physical edge. The kind of freedom that you get when you have nothing to lose is certainly dangerous for opponents, and there's absolutely pride at stake as well. Momentum to build towards for next season, and there's always extra satisfaction in upsetting a contender on their own pitch. That is what Oysters have to look forward to today. There will be pressure on the hosts, Eemland. The challenge is trying to balance the urgency with a little bit of composure. But I tell you, the weather conditions are absolutely ideal for rugby. Around 19 degrees Celsius, humidity not too high, and a very gentle breeze in these partly cloudy conditions here over Amersfoort. A healthy crowd as well gathering around the touchlines. The atmosphere steadily building. And you get a sense of the importance of this fixture. Now, Eemland have lost 3 of their last 5, but they've got a very good record overall throughout the campaign. The back-to-back fixtures against Haagse were less than ideal for coach Mitch McGann and his charges. But the men in yellow and black look to come back as they did against RC Eemland, and with that 42-29 victory back a little earlier this year, but a chance last month to impress where they used expansive play to score a host of tries. Didn't quite get the game plan right against Haagse. Oisterwijk also coming off a defeat, that in the 24-18 loss to RC Eemland, but they did have a good victory over Duke, and before that Hoek van Holland as well, just by 1 point. Their defeat to RC, though, was one that they would not have been too pleased with. They had a good victory before that. They're looking for some form. They're looking for some momentum. They're looking to play expansive rugby, and they are looking to play for pride, if nothing else. While the conditions themselves are ideal, the players will be looking for the kind of results that will see them advance their cause in the standings. For Oysters, perhaps a top half finish in the long, but for Eemland, you can see RC just behind them by a point as things stand, with 2 rounds to go in the Ereklasse first phase. What that means is that Eemland need to get good, solid victories back to back to give themselves a chance. Not to give themselves a chance, certainly to guarantee themselves a place in the playoff places. They still can catch, say, Eemland, but Eemland and Oysters, between them, head-to-head, Eemland a significant winning record against Oisterwijk, and they've won all 5 of their last 5 meetings by an aggregate scoreline of 191 points to 38. So they're outscoring their opponents on average by over 5 points for every one of Oisterwijk's. They will take some confidence from that, but this is a slightly changed Oysters side, and they'll be looking for a comeback of sorts themselves. Only twice in the last 5 meetings have Oisterwijk scored multiple digits, in other words, double points, 3, 5 and a 0 in that meeting in October 2022, which saw Eemland victorious by 33 points among the upsets in the matches between these sides. Eemland, though, looking for the big victory yet again, and they're hoping that they can put at least 30 on the board against this Oysters side. Now, home side, the big standout name is Max Veerde. He's returned from injury a couple of weeks ago with the Futures team after hip surgery in July last year, but now a chance to make his first team start of the season. It's been a quicker than usual comeback, but he's got some good players around him. Araki and Santi also find themselves on the bench for today's tie. Some big impact players. Watch out for the front rowers. Good to see Jack Dullhausen back as well in that hooker position. He's been missing for a little while, back last week, and now continues. And Tibbe van der Kamp, who's been very impressive in that scrum half role, gets the opportunity to start at 9 again for Mitch McGann's side. As things stand for Oisterwijk, the front row is pretty solid. Will Stanley, Joaquin Campo and Charlie Wigan between them, the hooker. Jacqueline Andrews, very solid player, so too Mitchell Thuis. A chance to impress once again is 8th man Finn Graham. Joran Baus is one of the brightest young talents. Usually plays as a fullback, though. Has a chance to play and show his kicking prowess, though, at scrum half today. Marnus Bailey, the very good Australian who makes an impact so often, he finds himself as well starting for this side, led by Daniel Gers of Australia, or Dutch father, Australian raised. A chance for this Oisterwijk side to show what they've got against a team challenging for the second phase of the competition.
Enjoy.
The referees making their way out onto the pitch. They're led by Edwin van der Spek. We'll introduce them in a moment. There's Edwin van der Spek, James Statham and Wesley van der Aert, both referees as well in slightly lower tiers. James Statham refereeing in the Futures class and in the first division. Van der Aert. Nick Veenstra is the match commissioner for today's tie. But Edwin van der Spek, he turns 31 tomorrow. So the last day of being 30, he finds himself refereeing at Eemland yet again, not for the first time this season, among the foremost referees in Europe. And he's just been told he's going to be refereeing on the first weekend of July the Rugby Europe Sevens Championship in Hamburg in Germany. So the respective teams making their way out. Eemland onto the park, so to Oisterwijk. Some glorious facilities here in the heart of Amersfoort. We're in Utrecht. And a club from North Brabant has made their way to enjoy the action on the park against an adversary they know all too well. So the teams are out. Eemland know the stakes. Oysters would love nothing more than to spoil the party, and for 80 minutes there's going to be no hiding. It's the penultimate week.
Blue ready? Yellow ready? Someone.
Edwin van der Speek says we are underway. Eemland produced the kickoff through Programma. Eemland playing in the yellow and black find themselves up against Oisterwijk Oysters, who turn out in the blue and white. And a lovely little turnover, beautiful hands, good anticipation as well. Support needs to be good.
No advantage.
Decent as well.
Blue, scrum down, yellow ball.
A little knock on from Oysters, no advantage. But what they do have, Eemland, is some good possession after a kick-off and a little bit of pressure. But the handling error proving costly already for Oisterwijk. Now Eemland looking to convert that into points in the early stages. Good team spirit for both these sides. There have been smiles at practice and training, both coaches say. So both looking forward to today's tie.
Crouch! Bind! Boys, we need distance.
The voice of Edwin van der Speek, the match referee. One of
First things first.
continental Europe's top referees. He's been making a good name for himself. He's been refereeing in Rugby Europe Championships.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Eemland with a feed to Van der Kamp. Allows it to be picked up at the base by Max Veerder. Ball spread out wide. They're looking for the bigger players to make a few carries, to make a few yards. Looking to charge into that 22, and they do so fairly comfortably. It's a decent looking barge through. They're making meters. They're making progress towards the line. And they're going through the phases. Pick and drive. Looking for that line. Edwin van der Speek is right on the mark. He's watchful. Eemland spreading it both ways.
Leave it. Both.
And Oysters have the ball out, manage to kick it, but don't find touch. Van will get involved. Very good talent. Fullback is Van Keller, the teenager from Netherlands. Usually a fly-off for a fullback, good kicking game, but he's got some ambition with ball in hands as well, and has scored a good few tries since returning from injury. Eemland looking for the opening try here. Out in the corner, and there's a big celebration, but it is a penalty to Oysters. Looks like the call is for holding on. This time the kick does find touch, and Oysters managed to escape. But they've been under pressure for the opening 3 minutes. They've yet to get out of their own half. This will please Eemland in the early stages of this tie. Oh, the ball nearly coming Eemland's way. So it'll be Oysters' ball. So the big front row, Joaquin Campo of Argentina, Charlie Wigan and Will Stanley, both of Australia. Some of them have been pulling good 80 minutes week in and week out. Jacqueline Andrews and Mitchell Tice in the second row. Fairly formidable as well. And then the back rows of Bastian Bain, Dinan Boer and Finn Graham.
You both know where the distance was. Let's go.
Will Stanley on the far side of Australia. Just being spoken to, the tight head. Acknowledging to the referee. Campo closest to Bafana Kamp and the referee. The loose head called Osu. Likes making tackles, has got a really good work rate. In the front row though for Eemland, Knaap, Dalhausen and Egberts.
Binding.
Eemland have the free kick, take quickly.
No hands now. Never on the ball.
Lovely work out again. It looks like Matthew Towie carries it forward, makes a few meters.
So stepping that way.
Ball is just in behind the
Step back.
waiting Eemland players looking to receive.
And six
Seeking a way through, Robin Schut. Good placement.
Boys, leave
Good
it.
pick and drive, but
It's
the
not
support
needed.
needs to be a little quicker perhaps.
Yeah, holding the player on
Penalty
the ground.
comes. And Bram Roters is going to be looking for touch. They want the line out. Went through a few weeks where they struggled with the hooker position, did Eemland. As a result, the
Nog geen tackle is, dus nog geen
line-outs
goal. Dan ben ik nog niks. En als hij dan zelf daarna vast
less
gaat
successful.
loslaat.
Dalhausen is back
No contest.
and finds his jumper. Dalhausen joining at the base, but he's off the back now. Pick and drive. Looking to work from the base of breakdown. Looking for the larger men to make a few yards. Egberts now takes it forward. Gains a good couple of meters. Swung wide. It's a decent looking delivery out towards the corner. And the try is scored. Great work from Robin Schut out wide. Players lining up, quick from the base. And out for the early try. So Eemland, they've got the early try. They would have wanted something like this.
Vijftien seconden.
Roters. That's a lovely kick. It's a beautiful kick. Even the referee turns to acknowledge the excellence of that kick. Conversions from the touchline are very difficult. Bram Roters has nailed that one though.
He got a bind where he should be. On the
Now,
back.
Oisterwijk will be in Eemland territory for the first time in this game. We're approaching 10 minutes in. Great conversion from Roters. After that wonderful try from Schut. Going deep. Minus Bailey, one of the Australians. Very fine all-round sports person in Australia. Very good cricketer as well. Mind you, Netherlands has been steadily improving in their cricket
Retreat
over
first.
the last 2 decades or so. Both men's and women's teams have qualified for the World Cups. The Dutch women's team set to play in the World Cup in England next month.
Retreat yellow, 13 move. Thank you.
Keller wanting to join the line. Kicking game is on now, and territorially that looked good. Applying the pressure, forcing the pressure, and they've gained a good few yards. Tactically, that was a very, very good kick from Eemland. They've driven Oisterwijk all the way back into their own half and inside their own 22, where they find themselves camped. good drive again. Eemland
Yeah, good steal.
applying pressure. It's been great team effort here. Oysters have got possession back, a little bit of action off the ball, but the ball left behind. It'll be swung wide now, attempting to make a little breakthrough and carry. Tackle efficiency, you get a sense, is going to need to be key for Oisterwijk today. Eemland already with the early dominance in this tie. Oh, that's wonderful. And then the ball spilled, lost forward.
Scrum, blue ball. Boys, the time is not yet off. So I'm off now. Yeah, now you can go off again because he's standing. Boys, water off now. He's standing.
So a little medical attention, but referee wants to get play back underway.
Blue ball.
Let's set it off first, eh? Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go, big gun.
Point. Set.
10 odd minutes has gone by. The penalty here for Oisterwijk. Good pressure in the scrum from Oisterwijk on this occasion. Minus Bailey, ball in hand, and looks to thump it downfield. Now Charlie Wigan stands over this man who's played for the Queensland Reds in Australia. They're under 19 side. He was also part of the senior academy. Very good ball carrier. He's got some excellent technical skills as well, as most academy players do. Lovely round the work, round the base on this occasion. Breaking through, it was Wigan himself with the ball. Oisterwijk break now into the 22 of Eemland for the first time. Back inside from Minus Bailey. That's a lovely handoff. Great running lines. They're running the channels really nicely here, Oisterwijk. If they could spread it a little wider, a little quicker, they might have Eemland on the ropes for a moment. Joram Bos looks for that snappy delivery.
Yeah, no advantage coming. Yeah, we already had a high tackle number 12.
It's the call against Schut, the try scorer for Eemland. High tackle, just in front of the uprights.
Shot.
So Oisterwijk are going to settle for the 3 points. So they're going to take the points on offer. Minus Bailey will stand over the tee. Well, Bailey has been among the team leaders so far this campaign. Really good kicking game. Penalties, so you can't charge it. Conversions you can charge, but that one is cleanly slotted. And a penalty for Oisterwijk Oysters means they are on the scoreboard. So 7 plays 3 as things stand. Not yet midway through the opening half. Eemland lead. They've got the one try, but they've got the territorial dominance. They've got the advantage when it comes to possession and territory in this game. Schut with the early try. Routers with the conversion. What's interesting about the Schut and Routers players is they're both part of brothers on the park for Eemland today. Robin Schut is the brother of Lok Melvin Schut. He turns out for Eemland as well, starting at number 4 today. Programma Routers is the younger brother of Wouter Routers. Starts on the left wing for Eemland today. Egberts looks for some meters. Tubbe van der Kamp looks to take quickly. That's brilliantly done. He knew that the players weren't 10 meters back and they couldn't tackle him. Nothing wrong, says the referee. That's very nicely read. Tubbe van der Kamp, the problem with breaking away was that he was able to scoot away from so many of his opponents, but was so far away from any of his own teammates as well, so no support by the time he was brought to ground. It's gone back, says the referee. Oisterwijk in possession. They're still locked inside their own half. A little pop pass just on the outside. Eemland applying a great deal of pressure. Baus back. Bailey with a kick. Looks to go deep. That's a very good kick as well. Tactical. What he's been able to do so far this season, Marnus Bailey, is get Oysters into positions where they can play their own rugby. Ball eventually out of play. It'll be an Oysters line out.
Let op de mensen voor de game. Wordt geslagen in de rug, ze zijn het kutten.
Als ik het niet zie en ik krijg niks door.
If you can't see it, can't do anything about it. Referee Edwin van der Spek. Good communicator with the players around him. Good flat pass in. Sometimes those are difficult to grasp when you expect it to come with a little more loop on the ball. Oysters trying to swing the ball wide. Again, the hands are good from Oisterwijk, the visiting side. Baus goes in the opposite direction. Two very young scrum halves starting this game for the respective teams. 19-year-old Tubbe van der Kamp for Eemland, already a Netherlands international. Made his debut against Spain in February. And you've got Joran Baus as well, just 18. Both wonderful young talents, and both looking to get their sides into winning positions and set up key plays. They dictate tempo and they dictate many of the dynamics and nuances on the park. That's a deep ball. Routers goes straight down the park, which is not the worst idea given the position of the two wings out wide. And that one is sent to safety. A little late on the tackle there, and that means we're going to have a penalty to Oisterwijk, just inside Eemland half, which is where the ball went out of play. So on the plane of where the ball went out of play, we'll have the penalty to Oisterwijk. So, Oisterwijk again. Last time they made a visit to the 22 of Eemland, they were able to convert 3 points. Can they find a conversion again of points in some capacity?
Not on the ball, leave it now.
Looking to swing the ball. Again, using the hands, looking for that expansive play. Decent looking delivery. Disciplined lineup as well for Eemland from a defensive perspective.
Stay up, boys. Yellow, leave it now. Boys, leave it.
Oisterwijk camped inside that territory. They're applying pressure. They're edging closer as well. looking to bring it back towards the near side. Players lining up, all hand in good positions. Penalty again goes the way of Oisterwijk. This is great pressure from the visitors.
Shot. It's still the 10 meter, it's the line.
So they're looking to go again, it seems.
Number 2 blue, his boot came off. 15 yellow threw his boot off the pitch. But he had a penalty.
The deficit to 1. Strikes it, and the flags go up. So, Bailey has cut the deficit to just 1 point now. Eemland, after that bright start, plenty of pressure and territory. Only managed to convert the 1 try so far. Dennis Bailey with back-to-back points. 2 penalties. So Eemland from kickoff, out wide.
And 5 roll. Nine, use it.
Boos. Looks to go high, lovely box kick as well. The chase was good, but it was knocked on disappointingly. Vicente Vega of Portugal. The winger looking to chase up. Lovely hands on the outside, looking to go around the outside. 3 in front of him, stays on his feet after the initial hit, makes a few meters. Eemland look to apply pressure. They look to get expansive as well, swing the ball out wide. Taken into a tackle, gaining a few yards, holding on as well. Take the ball to ground, recycle, set the next phase, and go.
Tackle now!
Oisterwijk
Ball's open.
look like they've got possession back.
Yeah, again, you can't dive on the ball within a meter.
They've got the penalty.
You can't dive on that ball. No, he was good. The ruck was here, not there. Ball was open when you cleared, and then your player dives on the ball. No, he dives on the ball, and that's not allowed.
Can't dive from within a meter.
Een meter van die ruk moet op een voeten blijven staan. Is het nog steeds die ruk.
The debates continue, but the referee
Binnen die meter
correct
niet.
with the decision.
Ja. Tam off. Ja. Ja? Binnen een meter mag je niet de bal duiken. Als je verder weg rolt, is prima. Niet binnen de meter.
So the medical attention on for a moment. Eemland and Oisterwijk players as well diving in for the water bottles that have made their way out as well.
Meer dan een meter erbuiten.
Both these sides looking for that victory. Penultimate round of competition. The Dukes, Haagsche and RC Eemland find themselves above Eemland in the Ereklasse standings as of now. Eemland looking to finish phase 1 of the Ereklasse season with a match away to bottom of the log, Breda. And looking to secure that playoff place for the second phase of the league season. This is the injury concern. Fred Nuboer, who scored a great try against Haagsche here in the last home match. Just having a little attention to his knee. Key runner is the outside centre, half his matches this season to come for the Futures team, but he's got great pace, he's got wonderful positional sense, and he's earned a place inside the Eemland starting 11 in the latter part of the campaign. But Eemland playing with consequence here. Oisterwijk are playing with some freedom. They don't really have much to play for outside of pride. Eemland know that slip-ups could prove costly this season. Eemland, they got the fast start, they got the early try, they gained the territorial dominance. And Oysters will survived and absorbed the pressure really well. They've tried to slow the tempo and frustrate Eemland at times. Finds his jumper, does Charlie Wigan. Oysters. Baus. Take it into the taller men. Front row is taking it forward.
Don't block them, boys.
Box kick again from Baus. Rick de Reiter was getting in close. He's got some pace, the Dutch flyer who starts out on the wing.
Yellow, scrum down, yellow ball.
So it'll be an Eemland feed at the scrum after the knock-on by Oisterwijk.
Then first go with the good bindings, with the space, and then go straight forward instead of straight sideways. Yeah, step by step. I'm gonna start at step 4.
One. Let's go. And again, and again. Big guy, so they're gonna come in, huh? Seconds. Sweep.
Ja, jouw goal.
Sweeping.
Crouch!
Dinant.
Bind!
Eemland with a feed. Get the ball out. They need to make this ball spread wide quickly. Get that expansive play in. It's not quite gone according to plan.
No.
Collected by Oisterwijk.
Your feet.
Baus looks to bring out towards Dinant Boer. One of the star Dutch players in this squad. Baus goes again. Bailey looking for a way through. Baus, quick hands. Bailey again spreads it out wide. This time a little drop from Matthias Jantes, the Argentine. Little knock on just around the halfway line, so Eemland will have the feed at the scrum.
I want to go long, but
You at your bind. Just stay there on your bind and then don't pull him to you. That solves the problem.
Right, two. Let's go, boys.
Heavy breathing from Joaquin Campo, but he's got a great engine room for a larger man who starts in the front row, loves making tackles. He's put in some big tackles already today. Good technique, not the largest of prop forwards.
Seconds for a 2.
Just having a little word with referee Van der Spek.
Crouch! Bind! Boys, thumb off. Boys. Don't leave it. Boys. I think we both play as long time in the Ereklasse in the front row. You know how to bind, you know how to solve this problem. If you do not solve it, if the next thing happens again, you need to go and sit for 10 minutes and ask the other props to come on.
I want to go
it's
long,
both for you. Yeah, it's both.
I can't go higher than this. He's swimming over my bind. I try to
you
go
know
long.
where to go, both of you.
You know.
You both go there, don't pull him in, get your bind there, and we go in scrum.
Let's go. I also think we're staying too far away from each other.
So maybe a little trouble brewing here in the sense that this is still
you start there,
only into
then
the second half effectively of the first half, so we've got over a half of rugby to play.
That's why I want you
Campo is among the players who's been playing 80 minutes in some games this season. He might be on the park for a while. They need to sort the bind early. Achbert and Campo opposite each other. Looks there might be a little lift on the far side as well if there's any problem. Van der Kamp knows that there might be trouble in the front row, so feeds quickly and it gets hooked back immediately, used very quickly by Eemland. Lovely hands out wide again. Keller joins the line. They look a little more dangerous. Rotas as well, eventually out wide in a wide position. Gets back to his fly-off position quickly though. Oh, again, beautiful through the hands, gaining yards, gaining meters. An advantage being played for Eemland here, and they've got the penalty right in front as well. They take it quickly. They look for the advantage, spread the ball out wide, cut inside. Tackle comes, Rotas gets involved, Bram that is. Nuboer wants to take it forward as well. Looking to the forwards now.
It's an option. So knock on into touch. So knock on or line out. Yeah.
So they've got the option here.
Scrum call, blue ball.
With the knock on into touch. They can go for the line out or they can go for the scrum.
5.
It'll be Oysters feed, so they've opted to go for the scrum. Maybe a little psychological momentum here as well, but the front row really have been war horses for Daniel Geur's side, 53-year-old Australian in charge of this Oisterwijk team from Avalon Beach in Sydney, Australia. It's only a few beaches up from the famous Manly Beach, but his father is from Den Haag originally, although now lives in Central Coast in Australia. So time off for a little injury concern. Looks like Charlie Wigan is just getting a little treatment. Coming over to check on him is Finn Graham. Many of these players, including Marnus Bailey, Will Stanley, Jacqueline Andrews and Finn Graham.
I will step the other way.
They all played together at Gordon Highlanders in the Shoot Shield. Shoot Shield is the semi-professional competition played in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, guys, weather off.
Many of them were Gordon Highlanders players. Mind you, Daniel Geurts himself coached in the Shoot Shield for a while, mostly with Warringah Rats. And he played around for a number of years in Australia, in England. Coached in Singapore as well, where he worked with World Cup winning coach Jake White, the South African who won the World Cup with South Africa, the Springboks in 2007. Jake White was director of rugby in Singapore when Daniel Geurts was the Singapore defence coach. But settled back in Netherlands in June 2024. So Oisterwijk feed, but they are within 5 meters of their try line effectively. Big scrum here from Eemland. It's great pressure, but it's brought out. Baas spreads it wide. Tackles need to be good from Eemland to keep the pressure high. Oisterwijk put it deep into the pocket, look for a little space, and Bailey goes to touch. Throw-in is taken quickly though. Great little bit of handwork from Eemland. The handling areas have been cut down on from the team that's been out for the last couple of weeks. As I say that though, the knock on and scrum to Oisterwijk.
Going in and then you're already pushing me. Can't put the shoulders on the hooker until... Hey, let's go, come on! What are we doing?
So still discussions between the front rowers about the binding and the way they set up in the scrums. In terms of match context, this is the penultimate round of the Ereklasse season, so momentum really matters heading into the playoffs for Eemland. They need to tighten up some of the handling areas. They need to play some of that expansive rugby. They've traditionally been a good team in terms of forwards play, but the identity has changed owing to a series of injuries and retirements in recent times. Now they're looking to use that youthful exuberance of so many of their players. Only one player over the age of 23 in the starting backline for Eemland today. That's it. Their youthful exuberance shows here as they charge towards the line again. Break inside the 22 of Oisterwijk. Eemland on the charge, seeking a second try of the game. What has Edwin van der Spek spotted here?
30 minuten bezig. Ja. Ik hoor alleen maar referees. Ze weten de regels, ze weten dat we wachten op voordeel. Is niet nodig. Ze gaan onnodig de moeite gaan ze duwen, het heeft geen nut. Het maakt je eigen spel niet beter. Praat met ze, haal die kanten erin en dan spelen we. Het is een knock-on, scrum jullie bal. Het is jullie team dat opzij stapt, omdat je 9 niet ingooit.
Eens,
ja?
eens. Nou ja, dat klopt. Wil je wel, ook wat ik net ook zei, opletten, word constant in de rug geslagen. Maar ik word steeds wilder daarom. Ik zal het niet zitten, echt 100%. Maar dat is wel...
Ja.
So outside centre, Isak Kense is being spoken to by the referee. Just wants a little discipline from the Oisterwijk players. There was a knock-on from Eemland. Get a handling error that might have proved a little costly in terms of trying to convert points. But the indiscipline from Oisterwijk is something that the referee seemingly wants the captain to speak to his players about. Edwin van der Spek, as I mentioned, turns 31 tomorrow. He did a match on his birthday last year, but when he got home, he was hoping to rest and have a little recovery. He got a surprise party instead. So I wonder what his wife Annabelle will be doing this year for him. I know he just says he wants a quiet day tomorrow. The couple are looking forward to the birth of their first child later this year, in August. Baus.
Retreat first
deep again. Bailey takes a few steps before releasing that one. It's a better kick as well. Gains a few more yards up towards the stipple line, which is 10 meters away from the center line. The halfway line. We're approaching the final minutes of the opening half though. Eemland leading by 1 point in a very tight contest. On average, the head-to-heads between these sides would suggest that Eemland would walk away with this game in the sense that they've outscored Oisterwijk by 191 to 38 in their last 5 meetings in the Ereklasse. But it's been far tighter today. Eemland, though, looking to make use of their territorial advantage. A little kick forward. There's appeals for a forward pass, but it's going to be converted. Right. The try is scored. Eemland have their second. And it's brilliant work out on the wing. Oisterwijk were protesting, feeling that there was a forward pass in the build-up. Eemland. This is where they got the phases going and the passes going without the handling errors occurring.
Yes.
Ball out wide, out to the wing. Wouter Roters is among the players who was begging to get involved. The moment he did, he looked clinical and his quality showed, and his brother will have the chance to convert the try.
Seconds.
Just a little warning here. 10 seconds, says referee van der Spek. Head down in a way that he knew it was never going to be on target, so misses the conversion. Eemland double Oysters now, but they lead by 2 tries to 0. To gain the bonus point in the Ereklasse, you need to score 3 tries or more than your opponent. Slightly different from many other rugby competitions in the bonus point department. Bailey goes deep. Very deep, in fact.
Taken in. For 323.
Taken in, so it couldn't go out directly. Decent looking kick again. Not the first time we've seen the ball kicked straight down the park and gaining good territorial yards.
Keep going.
Very high, the up and under. Excellent under the take.
Stop there.
Great deal of pressure and the ball swirls a little sometimes. Difficult to always take cleanly, but the good conditions here would suggest the handling errors might be minimized from high balls. Eemland again look to run the ball out of their dangering area. Taking a long way forward. They've kicked the ball deep. They've charged forward. They've collected the up and under. They've spread it wide. They're doing so many things right.
Offside first.
They've got the penalty as well, owing to the pressure that they've applied on Oisterwijk. Can they convert a third try before half-time? That'll give them a psychological boost, the momentum that they need going into the second half to try and close out this fixture. That's the aim. Oisterwijk, however, are not out of this game. And bear in mind, they're the kind of side that can come back from just about anywhere. They play for 80 minutes. They were 30-0 down against Rotterdam not too far back. And they got to within 30 points to 28.
Lady advantage, taking the arm. Yeah, playing the arm.
Resilience, they've got talent, they've got ability. So the court is playing the arm. The defensive line out doesn't work for Oisterwijk. And instead, Eemland have the chance to seek touch yet again and drive for a third try. How are they going to line it up? Are they going to go for a variation, or are they going to spread it out wide? Jack Delhausen very keen to get the ball in at the line-outs. He's on his mark, double quick time. Nicely in. Tawi wants to get involved in line-outs. It's very handy as well. The line-out receiver, Shaggy. Good line-out option. The expectant father, who is retiring at the end of the season. Both Matthew Shaggy Tawi and Niels van Uffelen, who is not only a long-time Eemlander, but has captained the side in the absence of Matthijs de Wit, who's the actual club captain, who's been injured all year. Both retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, ball's not coming out. They fall over their own player. Scrum blue ball.
So Oisterwijk will have the feed here. They need to get the ball away from their danger area. They'll do well if they can escape with only conceding 2 tries in the opening half. Still time for them to run in another, perhaps.
Crouch! Bind! Set! It's your own team.
Boss taking his time about getting the ball in and then spreading it wide. Actually going the way of Juntus.
Hold in front.
Back to Bailey. Flatter kick. Looks for a little more distance, but misses touch. Eemland. Got players lining up. Breaks through the tackle.
Leave it blue. Thank you.
Good advantage. Breaking through the gain line.
On the ball.
Oh, this is brilliant. Running game is looking really on point today. There's a great deal more confidence, it seems, in the step of the players, despite the few handling errors. Many of the attributes on display have been very, very positive. Grillis looks for a way through. Schut out wide. Lovely handoff while he was on the ground after the tackle. Tova van der Kamp spreads it in the opposite direction. Achbarts gets involved in the line and then spreads it wide. Roters is waiting out wide. Does not go his way.
Slip up.
Needed to be released just a little bit earlier to get him going. Well, the penalty comes the way for Eemland. I'll absolutely take it. Not too much time remaining in this half. Well, they're going to go for the try.
Up there. Sure what?
So which way are Eemland going to go if they win the line out? Silva van Essen will be waiting out on the wing and looking to get his charge on. Good speed out on the wing for Silver van Essen. Young man from Nijkerk. Runs his own business, works in a gym. Oisterwijk, however, have busted down any ideas of Eemland escaping for another potential try just before half-time here. Oisterwijk, Bailey looks long, looks for the skip pass out wide. Decent looking pass as well. Van Essen catches his man in the tackle. Krit goes in for the successful hold, if not tackle. Oisterwijk under pressure now to maintain possession. Swung out wide. Rick de Ruiter getting involved. Baas picks it up though, spreads it. Taken into the tackle. They've got the penalty as well, Oisterwijk.
Hij raakt hem hier en gaat dan omhoog. Dat snap ik. Jouw speler valt ook, hè?
Ik weet het, maar op de rand zijn ze kut. Het harde tackle is super, ben ik heel goed fan van. Ik snap dat je het niet ziet. Echt, maar...
Ja. Als hij laagt, go up.
Het gaat niet laag, het gaat op zo'n grond te slaan zijn. Heel tijd bal. Het is maar een klein beetje, maar...
12 points to 6 as it stands. Eemland leading by 2 tries to nothing, coming up to half-time.
Ja.
Here at Sportpark, the Bokkeduinen in Amersfoort. Little rugby action in Utrecht. Bailey going deep, a little too deep for Eemland to take that quick throw in that they're rather accustomed to doing. Quite literally seconds remaining in this opening half. Charlie Wigan steps up to produce the throw in. Looks to go deeper this time. That's brilliant work at the base. Ball left behind though. Slipping out of the hand. Nothing wrong, says the referee, in terms of knock-on. So while there was a handling error, it's not a knock-on. Oisterwijk have it back. After some really good work to get on the end of that ball. Oisterwijk look for a break straight through the centre. Nobody there for cover. There's support as well. And Oisterwijk are going to take it in for a try just before half-time. And it looks like it's Joran Baus who's gone over. Oisterwijk have a chance to go into the break in front, away to Eemland. After all the territorial advantage, after all the dominance, Oisterwijk have converted 2 penalties with 2 previous visits, and now they've burst through the centre, courtesy of their remarkable young talent, 18-year-old Joran Baus, and they've got the try that if Marnus Bailey can convert, we'll see them take the lead into the break.
It's half.
Marnus Bailey goes good for his conversion. And half-time it is. Fantastic play in the closing moments. Time was running out. Eemland had possession. And at half-time, Eemland, who might have scored 2 tries to the 1 now of Oisterwijk.
Half 13.
It's Oysters, though, who lead by 13 points to 12 at the break. Little tactical discussions to come at half-time.
Nee. Moet je even aan de fysio gaan.
Pressure and expectation may be affecting the execution here, and that'll be discussed at the break. Eemland 12, Oisterwijk 13 at half-time. Welcome back to Sportpark, the Bokkeduinen in Amersfoort. We are at half-time in the Ereklasse encounter between Eemland and Oisterwijk Oysters. It's round 21 of 22 in the Ereklasse, the penultimate weekend. It is the last home game of the season for Eemland. And it's the last home match of the careers for two Eemlanders. Niels van Offelen, who captains the side today, and Matthew Shaggy Towie, who joined Eemland this season. Wasn't around for pre-season, but the expectant father, like his captain, Van Offelen, is retiring at the end of this campaign. Van Offelen, the Iron Man of the squad, looking to lead his side to a victory here. They outscored Oysters by 2-1 in the first half, but it is the visiting team, Oisterwijk Oysters, who lead by 13 points to 12 at the break. One change Oosterwijk have made. Dinant Boer is off. Robin van Dinter is on in his place. Manus Bailey, ball in hand. Fly half of Oosterwijk Oysters.
Yellow ready?
But there is a genuine upset developing here.
Someone.
Eemland need to be sure that they're not chasing the game emotionally. They know that their fate lies very much in their own hands. Ball is still alive, so worked in by Oosterwijk, who turn out in the blue and white up against Eemland in their traditional black and yellow. Oosterwijk need to keep applying the pressure if they are to close out a victory here and gain an upset away from home. For Eemland, now want to get a fast start in the second half as they did in the first half. Get themselves back in front, get that crowd engagement, work the territorial advantage into points. Baas again, who scored the only try for Oosterwijk this game. Lovely take under the high ball, not the first time in the game. Doesn't want to be caught on his own though. It's a little bit of a tap touch to bring him down. Finn Graham making the little ankle tap. Kick inside. The bounce is significant from the kick of Walter Roters. Oosterwijk, however, have it back deep inside their own half, under pressure. Baas is calling Bailey to get back into the pocket. Instead, he flips it around the base. Now Bailey goes back. Create a little more space for the kick. They've done so nicely. Bailey goes a little deeper as well in terms of getting it beyond the touchline. So plenty still to define in this fixture. Results to be gained. Fitness and discipline need to be managed for both these sides. Which side will manage it better in the second half? Dalhausen goes to the front. The line-out trick, however, the tactic does not quite work. It was nearly overturned by Oosterwijk. Instead, they've gone and knocked it on, which means Eemland have a lucky escape. They'll have the feed at the scrum. That tackle efficiency from Oosterwijk is proving critical for them in holding on in this game. Side that feel they let themselves down in the early part of the season, which left them with a little too much to do in the latter part of the season. And I mentioned that Eemland have only won under 23.
Hey guys, let's go.
One player over the age.
Boys, second. 3 here, 3. You do it, boys. Howard.
Crouch. Point. Set.
And no, Kofi, no.
Right.
Hey, that's simple, hè, Robin?
ball was gone anyway. Yeah, that's good. That's good info. Just hold it for a second.
Eemland 3 tries now. He's got his second in the game. Ramrotas converting for another couple of points.
Time off.
He's breaking transmission. Eemland back in front. They look to be dominant now.
Op James iedere keer komt.
Maar nu was de bal eruit voordat er überhaupt iets gebeurde. Time back on. Yeah, let's go.
Yes! Hey, now we go, now we go! Now we go, defensively, hey, discipline! Discipline! Sharp, boys! Discipline now, boys!
He's gonna go.
Hier is
Yeah,
af.
just go.
Oh, is af.
Yeah, stop.
Robin,
Player is on. There you go. Oh no, let's go. Yeah, nice, player is on.
So,
Let's play.
new substitutions coming now for both these sides. Eemland have got a few players coming in. Gershon Mukendi has made his way on, and so too is Jordi Santi.
Guys, just take a.
Stephan van der Kamp has made his way off.
Just for me. Late contest.
Oisterwijk as well have made a change. Yep, Sharpveld looks to make his way into the park. Lay back, Oisterwijk in possession. Mukendi wants to get involved immediately. He's got a great ambition about his game as Gershon Mukendi. The 26-year-old Congolese-born front rower. Will Stanley, he's made way for Jip Sharpveld. Sharpveld will come into that hooker role.
Take it in.
In on the front row, rather, the prop.
Never on the ball.
Leave it, Koen. Leave it. Leave it.
It's always on the body.
Koen Grillis trying to stay involved. Eventually lets it go. Ball continues. Oisterwijk trying to spread it wide. Glorious conditions.
Release.
Bailey looks to going straight downfield. It's nicely picked up and
Thank you, boys.
happy to hoof it high rather than out of play. There's confirmation that Mukendi's on. Egbert's the player who made way. And that'll be a penalty to Eemland for holding. Wrapped up very, very nicely.
Holding.
Kenser and Bailey over the ball.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, that's perfect.
Eemland now have a chance to go for touch, and that's not quite used the way they might have liked. Not quite the yardage they would have liked to gain. So confirmation, Stephan van der Kamp is off, and Santi is on in his place. Man from Cambridge, New Zealand. Returned after an ankle injury last week. Santi. adds a little spark. He adds a little know-how off the bench, which is always vital, particularly in pressure situations. And the way Oisterwijk have played, they have provided a great deal of pressure for this Eemland side, who look to handle the ball here. That'll be a knock-on, though, and Oisterwijk will have the feed at the scrum.
Yeah. Yellow 17, sub.
So Max Veerda is being applauded off after a fantastic run. Man who returned from injury with that first start today. Was looking for a few good carries. Man that came through the club's academy. So Max Veerda, after making a successful return to the side, he makes his way out. On in his place, Quinten Verhagen. Long-time Eemlander who joined from the Dukes. Another man who loves tackling.
Set.
Oh, that's just raw power from Eemland. Well, that is superb. Knaap on the front row has put in an enormous shove in the early stages. Look at the way that this scrum spins around. That is brute force and power. That's when you get your binding and your footing and your technique all spot on at the same time. And you got that support from behind you. So Eemland, who've been kicking to touch every time they win a penalty, have decided they're going to go for the 3 points on offer. It'll get them to one score clear of their opponents. They'll go to 22, lead by 9. The maximum you can score on one play is 7. A try and a conversion. 5 points for the try, 2 for the conversion. So this will be 2 scores. Oh, and it's not guaranteed. Bram Routers has hooked that wildly into the upright. Down it comes, and Oisterwijk pick it up. The loose ball. Maybe Eemland, though, if they can win it back, have a chance to run it in. Pressure here. Confident running the ball out of their danger area. Minus Bailey tracks back. And looks to bring it out of play on the near side. And instead, all he's done is put it right down the throat of his opponent. Silver van Essen wanted that ball out wide. So did Wouter Routers, wanted it out on the near side. The steal is on. Oisterwijk have possession back. Eemland were looking for the guaranteed 3 points. And somehow they managed not to convert.
That's yours.
What they want to be doing is turning that playoff pressure potential into controlled intensity. They've got the forward dominance, they've got the efficient set pieces, they've got the smart territorial kicking game, they've got the expansive running. Too many handling errors, that has been on display undoubtedly. Oisterwijk, however, have just absorbed pressure so remarkably well. Ball is there to be used. Santi, Mukendi. Man who started playing his rugby in Canada, Congolese born via Namibia, made his way to Canada, started playing in Ontario. Nicely taken under the high ball, but held on to. Silver van Essen with a good tackle. Fred Nuber, rather, with a good tackle on the far side. And he'll be standing in an offside position.
Into offside, sorry. Yeah.
Into offside player.
Which...
Yeah, he was good, but then the knock on. The big touch in front is offside.
Chase line.
Keep retreating.
Eemland.
There you go.
Got some power behind the boot. That ball's going to run away. It's gone too far as well. Has it? No. Okay. Somehow manages to hold up just before the dead ball line.
Let's get it on your mark, yeah?
On my mark.
You step off,
Yeah,
and it looks not
everybody
straight,
follows.
but it is straight. Yeah?
Oosterwijk are doing a lot right to put pressure back on Eemland, knowing what's at stake for Eemland, knowing that slip-ups could prove costly this season. Dalhausen, lovely ball in at the line out, and now the back line is working. Mukendi with a little driving run, earns a couple of meters. Schut joining the back line. Wouter Routers wants it out wide.
Forward. Scrum.
Forward pass. So another error.
Stop.
And in a sense, they're unforced errors.
Yeah, let him go on. Stop.
Oysters will be gaining belief with every phase, with every stoppage. And even though Eemland lead, they only lead by 6. And the longer this stays tight, the more dangerous it becomes for Eemland. So change here, and they're going to make a change at 10. The fly-off Bram Routers makes his way off. On in his place, Araki Ryusuke of Japan. Man who can also play fullback, has got a very good rugby brain. Good kicking game. And against the tiring defence, he can really open up opposition with his running game. Man who developed his skills at Fujisawa Rugby School in Kanagawa, the prefecture immediately below Tokyo, so south of Tokyo on Honshu Island.
Tackle! Stay on sit. 9 use it.
Oosterwijk have it back. Boas is being asked to use it. Chase down, the box kick chased down. Brilliant work. Oosterwijk still battling away.
Fine, but he needs to roll.
Penalty taken quickly. It's a little tap and go. They're gaining several yards here because the Eemland players weren't 10 back. And that's out on the fall, and that is a disappointment for Oosterwijk.
Easy, easy.
So much they were doing right.
No rolling. Yeah.
And then Oosterwijk
The tackler, you need to go quick
lose the momentum with just one little moment. And suddenly the playoff race is feeling very real for Eemland. Becoming a test of nerve. They want that statement finish. They want their experience to show and the depth to prove decisive. They want the bonus point as well. They're outscoring their opponents by 2 tries. They need at least 1 more.
Retreat. Yeah, get now.
The first objective is to claim the victory. Bailey tried with a little kick downfield. It's been returned. Good chase on. Routers. Wouter Routers. Oh, applies good pressure on the kicker.
Be aware. No.
And his spiral kick has gone spiraling out just a little too close to the touchline. Not gaining many yards. Not quite what Vegar would have wanted.
Yeah, next stop.
So just over 20 minutes to play. Eemland lead, but there's still so much that can happen. And in this match of contrasting styles, it'll fall Eemland's way, but it's well picked up by Eemland. It's a little bit of a knock on here from Oosterwijk. So the advantage has been played to Eemland. The handling again working for a moment, and then in behind his man.
Scrum down, yellow ball. Stop first.
Well, Eemland will be delighted that they were able to be called back for the advantage, despite the knock-on out wide. Knaap is off, Appleton is on. Appleton now continues his run of playing every match this season for Eemland, the Dutch international, England-born. Moved from England to Netherlands in 2017. The man who loves this club so much, he's got the Eemland badge tattooed on his calf. Francis Appleton, back on the park. Quentin Verhagen. Big player off the bench, smart player. Understands the tactics really well. Smart in the sense that he's academically inclined as well, doing a double masters in urban planning and spatial economics from Amsterdam currently as well for Aachen. And his presence in the back row might prove instrumental as well. He picks up the ball in frustration though. Oisterwijk have the penalty go their way.
Number 8.
So call against Eemland. This is not out to touch. Again, Oisterwijk missing their kick to touch. Good take. Santi wants to get up and put a little pressure on the ball carrier for Oisterwijk. They need to get back on side as well. The maul has been called.
Keep last feet.
Eemland trying to stop this from going.
Blue goes on his knee by himself, so it's a scrum.
The maul was called early. Edwin van der Spek made it abundantly clear. Oysters didn't use it quite the way they would have liked.
Yellow ball.
And the moment he goes down on his knee, ends the maul. And with that, it's Eemland ball. Eemland have been dominant in many areas. What they need to do is avoid any panic. They need to maintain their structure. If you do the basics right, often enough, it's going to come right. Matthew Towie, Shaggy Towie in the 8th man position now, having started on the flank opposite Grillis and Vierde between them. Santi skips one, goes to Schut. He's got 2 tries today. Fred Nuboer takes it into the tackle, and that's going to be an Oisterwijk penalty. Nuboer caught on the ground in possession and not releasing. And a few words means an extra 10 meters on the penalty call.
Time off. Time's off. Yeah, just up there.
I spoke about the discipline being among the areas that they need to be aware of. Fitness and discipline always become a little more instrumental and vital in the second half.
Ja, de volgende gaat.
Discipline proving costly here for just a moment. Will Bailey convert and draw this back to within 3?
Both teams. Guys, wide off. Time on. It's penalty. Shot goal.
So minus Bailey. Stands over this. Air of confidence about his game. Settles himself. Good breathing. Finds his rhythm. Snaps the leg through. Drills it through the uprights. And Oisterwijk find themselves back to within 3 of Eemland. 19 plays 16 now as Bailey converts yet another penalty. His 3rd of the game. He's got 11 in the game of 16 that Oisterwijk have put on the scoreboard. So Bailey proving instrumental for Oisterwijk Oysters. Top play for Oisterwijk. Wanting to run this ball out of their danger area initially. Now the little box kick from Baus. It's gone straight up, but it's been beautifully claimed, and they've charged away with possession up to the halfway line. Low and flat. Kense was acting as scum half. Baus taking it out wide. Little bounce, but there's no problem with the pass. It's a good clean pick-up, and the chase is on.
Line out.
Put into touch. Line out it'll be. Eemland ball. Oisterwijk showing no signs of big pushovers in the trip away from home here.
Blue, this is your line.
Game management becomes so much more important. Eemland ahead narrowly. Kicking battle has been good. Discipline largely good as well. Speaking of discipline, they are missing one of their key players. Keegan Weintraub, the leading try scorer this season, picked up a 5th yellow card of the season, so serves the second of his 2-match ban this week. He'll return next week for their final first phase Ereklasse fixture. And that'll be a chance to impress against the bottom club, Breda. Oisterwijk, however, even though they can't mathematically make the playoffs, they finished the season at home against top of the table, the Dukes, next Saturday. Penalty here for Oysters. So Oisterwijk have already scored 1 try this game. They've got themselves into a handy position here. They've got the feed at the line out as well. Decent looking ball in. Nicely claimed as well. Jacqueline Andrews goes up to claim, a man who's a history teacher by profession, but currently fixes bikes at the moment. Oh, on the bounce, picks it up, looks to go. And off Steenbakker. Out wide, looking for the corner flag. Nearly taken into touch. Eemland are there. They're swarming. They've got numbers. Picked up, tries to go near side, steps into touch. So that'll be a line out. But the time off. Referee wants to have a word with somebody.
13. It's repeated. It's high again. It's yellow card.
Oh, so this is going to be Nubur off. A yellow card.
13. It's up there.
So Fred Nubur is the player who's going to be off with a yellow card.
Yeah.
This is going to be enormous pressure.
It's still the goal line. It's offside line.
They lead by 3. They need the bonus point as well. So they need at least another try without conceding. What Bailey's going to do is look to punish Eemland. Bailey over this.
20 seconds.
And the Australian makes no mistake. He's got 14 of the 19 points for Oysters. It's level at 19 here in Amersfoort. Araki. Japan-born fly-off. Played in Poland before he made his way to Netherlands. Gets proceedings underway post penalty by Bailey. Penalty here.
6 never onside. Hold in and 6 never onside.
So big call to come here.
Show me hem loslaten.
And the call is they're going to go for the 3 points, I think. Araki
Shot call.
makes his way out to the mark where the penalty's been called, just outside the Oisterwijk 22. Araki Risike. Great ball carrying ability, but it's about his kicking now. His kicking game has been on point. Can his place kicking hold as well? And this one hits the upright again. Second time that Eemland have hit the upright in this game. Routers it was initially, and now Araki's done the same. Points on offer for Eemland not being claimed. Maybe nerves starting to tell. Bailey will look to send this out of play on the near side. It's got some curl on it as well. So stays in play. Eemland stretching the back line. Go for the kick. And that'll be put out of play now. Scores level at 19, just over 10 minutes to go in this game. Bear in mind, Eemland are still playing a player short after Nubur's yellow card for a high tackle. Just under 7 minutes. Appleton goes to have a little word with Dalhausen. It's nicely claimed again. Araki spreads the ball. Two look to take it past the tackle. Nice protection from Mukendi. Araki trying to call the play behind where the ball currently is. Santry wants to get involved. Handing again, not quite there. Eventually claimed, secured. Grillis getting involved. Now Eemland back inside. The chase is on. It's pressure. Potentially a 2-on-1. Looks to escape the tackle. Looks to escape the pressure. Can't do so. Eemland are there. If nothing else, they could win the penalty. At Oisterwijk have managed to not only hold on to the ball here, but they've managed to recycle possession as well. Very nicely done. Under pressure. Bailey not back in the pocket where he usually stands. Instead, a little short on that, and he's been put under pressure. A few errors from Oisterwijk. It'll be Eemland throw at the line out.
Time off. Time's off.
6, yep, Robin.
So Eemland, they want a bonus point. They need to secure the win first, but they want the bonus point, and that means another try. Some of the place kicking has not been as they might have wished today. They've outscored their opponents by 3 tries to 1. Robin Schut has 2. Wouter Routers with the other try. Only Oisterwijk try, scored by Joren Baus. Just on halfway, when Eemland looked to take a psychological lead into the break, they were hit on the counter brilliantly by Baus, who converted.
Knock on blue. Yeah, first knock on of blue, then from yellow, scrum, yellow ball.
Here we go, boys.
First of blue.
Big squad.
It was in the air.
Edwin, can you watch him go in it?
We what? You had a penalty there, and the other was because of your 8, it goes on his knee and then grabs the ball out of the scrum. That's unlucky.
I'm trying to manage my...
Yeah. And then you don't have ice in your back.
Yeah, thank you.
Francis Appleton, very polite.
First thing first there.
Man who turned 32 earlier this week. Good cook as well, I'm told.
Crouch!
Speaking of cooking, there are a few Springbok supporters in this Eemland side. There is a braai immediately after the game as well. The braai is the South African term for a barbecue, as they would know it in Australia. Many of the Australian players will be well familiar with a barbecue. and
20
Eemland
goes
are having
in
their
after
braai
Steun on his knee.
after this game.
Let's go.
A little bit of a South African theme as well, and I believe a South African DJ is going to be in the house. Araki opts to go for posts. This one though, right through the upright, sails through beautifully, and Eemland are in front. They lead by 3, 22 plays 19 as Araki has his first points of the game. Araki Rysuke.
8.
Time running out for that bonus point try.
2 on yellow. 8 full game, 2 on yellow.
Bailey with the kick-off. Looks to hold back as well. It's convincingly cleared.
That's your line.
So Ruben Schut, who's been superb defensively for Eemland, has also chipped in with 2 tries today. Wouter Roders. Great play out wide on the wing. His little kick and chase, added little X factor. And in 1-on-1s has looked very solid today. Scored a great try as well. This is looking to set up a try out wide. Wouter Roders, is he going to go all the way? Tries for the little kick back inside. It's brilliantly executed. And that'll be a try. That is magnificent. Wouter Roders out wide. Looked to set up the play, used his speed, had that X factor in the build-up. Couldn't quite go all the way himself. The little kick back inside, set up the chance for a pop pass back. And then Jordi Santi goes over for the try that Eemland would have been absolutely desiring, wishing for.
Yellow is okay from kickoff.
Magnificent kick. Santi's there to tidy up. And Santi crashes over. And importantly for Eemland, they've managed to do this in the closing stages of this tie. They get themselves into bonus point territory now. But they've also done this while Fred Nuber has been sitting in the sin bin on a yellow card. So not only have they run the clock down, it's not going to come back in, and that's wide. So 27 plays 19. There's still 2 scores clear. And if they don't concede a try, they will escape with a bonus point if they secure the victory here. Will Eemland?
5 minutes.
About 5 minutes remaining. And only seconds remaining of Nubur's yellow card, so he'll be back in a moment. As I say that, Nubur
Stay on side.
back on to play.
Use it.
Nubur is going to be changed though. Silver van Essen has actually made his way on instead of Nubur.
Just come. I see it.
Penalty to Oisterwijk. Pressure still on.
Second player, push him off. It's up here.
Well, Eemland, they've still got their playoff destiny in their own hands here. Oysters still seeking that upset in the Ereklasse here. Looking to become spoilers in this playoff race. Inside the final 5 minutes. Who gains the upper hand? Who claims the victory? Regardless of the result, there's been much in terms of entertainment between the sides. Many attributes to enjoy. Although the handling errors might prove to be an area that the coaches will want to focus on come the end of this game. Mitch McGann in particular, the 37-year-old in charge of this Eemland side, man from Auckland in New Zealand. It's nearly 15 years since he started coaching, Mitch McGann. Oisterwijk claim possession. Good tackle again from Wouter Routers. Oh, Gershon Mukendi has just powered his way into a position, makes the steal, turnover for Eemland. They take it into Oisterwijk territory. Santi tries to spread it. Appleton hands it off, and again the handling error, the knock-on. Oisterwijk want to capitalise. Penalty. Well, the play is continued.
So the original penalties against
The referee.
I'll reverse it against him. So 10 meters.
So the initial penalty was going to be against Oisterwijk, but they've got the penalty because Mukendi, I think it was holding a player back. So the penalty that was going the way of Eemland has been reversed. Maybe a few questions regarding discipline in the closing half for Eemland. As things stand, though, they've avoided the panic. This ball is not out of play. This time, Baus looks to go up and under.
12 reverse. No, your 12 is still in the way.
Santi, back to Araki.
A retreat, Blue. It's backwards.
Robin Hackert has made his way in for Jack Dalhausen in the meantime for Eemland in the closing moments of this tie. Eemland will simply be focused on closing this match out now, escaping with a bonus point. They've been up against it against an Oisterwijk side that's been here to play.
There you go.
That's confirmation of that change. Hackert on for Dalhausen.
Yeah. Oh, I said it was inside 22 anyway.
Let's just take a moment
It's blue ball.
to recognise the excellence, the work rate of Matthew Shaggy Towie and Niels van Uffelen, the former Dutch Army captain who's now with the military police, both retiring at the end of the season, playing their last home matches here. Niels in particular, he's been the de facto captain throughout the campaign owing to that Matthijs de Wit injury.
Yeah, guys, let's go.
But no one in the squad has played more rugby this season than Niels van Uffelen. A man who's played over 100 matches for the club. Last time he'll be singing the Eemland anthem, the song, the hymn, at the end of the game as well. And what an emotional moment, sentimental moment it'll be in all likelihood. That looked to be very flat, if not forward. I think Edwin van der Spek has called it forward, indeed. So Oisterwijk, while they got the ball expansive out towards the wing nicely, they are unable to escape with it because the pass to him was forward.
Now,
Eemland want to close this out.
last play.
So this is the last play.
Without infringements.
Come on. We've got him, boys.
Oisterwijk will play the Dukes next Saturday. Eemland
Crouch. Point.
in the second phase.
Set.
By Eemland. Playoff, they're still very much in their own hands. And while the performance may not have been perfect, resilience matters when it comes to the end of the season. Momentum builds. Eemland escape with victory. They have beaten Oisterwijk by 27 points to 19 4 tries to 1 means they've got the bonus point as well. Just the 2 conversions, rather remarkably, twice hitting the upright from penalty attempts. Marnus Bailey was excellent. 4 penalties and a conversion as well. He scored 14 of Oosterwijk's 19 points today. And Joran Buys, the 18-year-old, the teenager, who's so excellent as a scrum half, scored the only try for the visiting side. 2 tries for Schut, 1 for Santi late on after Wouter Routers had put him away with a little kick inside. It was Routers who scored the opening try for Eemland. 4 tries to the 1 then of Oosterwijk. So pressure is the kind of thing that you want to show that you can go beyond, that you can absorb, and their resilience was very much on display. There's a few celebrations for Eemland. They know they didn't pull away and claim a statement win that they would have liked, but they showed some experience. They showed some depth as well, which eventually proved decisive, and they are 1 step closer to the playoffs now. A match with good playoff intensity before the playoffs even begin. The honour and respect. A little tunnel. Oosterwijk being applauded as they are beaten on the day. And they can hold their heads high for a valiant effort. Some big performances. Baas was outstanding. Bailey was excellent. The front row of Campo, Wigan and Stanley stood firm. Andrews looked solid as well. And some impact off the bench. The referees, happy birthday to Edwin van der Spek tomorrow. I hope he gets the day off that he would like. But for Eemland, it's now about marching on to the playoffs. They've got a game away from home against bottom of the log, Breda, in the final day of the season, but they know they still need to put in the effort to get that victory, secure the 5 points and march on. For Eemland in the black and yellow, now time for a little tradition and an emotional time for Van Uffelen en Touwy, Shaggy Touwy.
Opsteeds van de week. Jouw 11 in dat opstandje net hier. Ja.
The melody borrowed from the well-known Dutch patriotic song Waar de Blanke Top de Rijnen, where the white crest of the dunes. But that is the Eemland Club song, and that is where the action concludes for today. It's not been the day that they might have liked. They didn't claim the statement win, but they got the job done under pressure. Eemland, outscoring Oosterwijk by 4 tries to 1, have beaten the visitors by 27 points to 19. Eemland are 1 game away from the playoffs.